Okay, I have a question. If company logos suddenly had to take a driving test, which one would fail first? You'd think the companies would be safe. Yeah, don't be so confident. Some of these logos wouldn't even make it out of the parking lot. So today, we're counting down the top 10 logos that would fail driving school. And trust me, number 1 somehow failed before the engine even started. Number 10, IKEA. Let's start with IKEA. The instructor says, please assemble your car. Assemble it? The steering wheel comes in box A. The seats are in box D. The wheels are somehow missing. 3 hours later, Greg finally finishes building it. There's just one tiny problem. The driver's seat is facing backwards. Number 9. GoPro. GoPro isn't interested in passing. GoPro wants content. The instructor says, drive safely. GoPro says, yeah, but what if we filmed it upside down? 5 cameras later, the driving test has become an action movie. Nobody remembers the score, but the slow motion replay looks incredible. Number 8. Subway. Subway gets hungry halfway through the lesson. Every traffic light becomes lunch break. The instructor says, keep driving. Subway says, 1 foot long won't hurt. 20 minutes later, everyone in the car is eating cookies. Number 7. Uber. Uber keeps picking people up during the driving test. The instructor says, focus on the road. Uber says, sorry, 5-star rating comes first. By the end of the exam, Greg somehow arrived at his house without realizing he was part of the lesson. Number 6. FedEx. FedEx finishes the driving course before everyone else even starts. The instructor looks around. Where's FedEx? Someone points outside. Already delivered the test results. Number 5. Jeep. Jeep sees a perfectly normal road and immediately drives into the forest. The instructor says, the road is this way. Jeep says, I know. But look at that hill. 30 minutes later, the driving lesson has accidentally become a camping trip. Number 4. Tesla. Tesla gets into the car. Everything is quiet. Very quiet. The instructor says, whenever you're ready. Tesla is already halfway through the parking lot. Greg blinks once. The lesson is somehow already over. Number 3. BMW. BMW parks perfectly. Seriously, it's flawless. The instructor says, great job. BMW smiles, then spends the next 5 minutes trying to decide whether the parking was perfect enough. Number 2. Ferrari. Ferrari sits down, takes 1 deep breath, and suddenly the instructor says, remember, this is not a race. Ferrari nods. 3 seconds later, Greg feels like they're qualifying for a championship. Technically, they finished the course. The instructor just wasn't ready. Number 1. Lamborghini. And finally, number 1. Lamborghini. The instructor hands over the keys. Everyone gets excited. Greg gets excited. Even the instructor gets excited. They all forget one tiny detail. Nobody actually started the driving lesson. Everyone was too busy admiring the car. 3 hours later, the instructor quietly writes, failed for excessive distraction. Probably. So those were the top 10 logos that would fail driving school. Did I miss one? Which logo do you think would have failed first? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this completely unnecessary driving investigation, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next countdown. Drive safe, especially if Greg is in the passenger seat.